Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Does Boxing. We back again with another one. Y'all know how we get down. We got a recap for Ioka. Ioka fought earlier in the day. We're gonna talk about his fight. We also got some news and notes we want to cover. You know what I'm saying? Getting towards the end of the year for sure. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe as always. Auckland LD, what's good with you, bro? Salute. Yes, sir. So we're gonna get into it. Andrew Gray, what's good with you, bro? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, man, we're winding down. Yeah, Ioka, he fought earlier today. You know, this is his date, New Year's Eve. So Ioka, what, 3 division world champion. He's campaigning in his 5th division, 118 pounds. I think he's probably a future Hall of Famer. He's a good fighter, been around for a while. So he fought this kid from I think it's from Venezuela, Michael Oscar Gotti. The kid did fight in the WC Grand Prix. I don't know if you guys watch all those fights. He actually lost in the first round of that. So this was a WBA eliminator at 118 pounds for Ioka. So this belt and situation, well, this eliminator was basically set up for Ioka, who is attempting to become a 5 division world champion. He dominated the fight. He scored 2 knockdowns. Second round, dropped him with a body, and then finished him up in the fourth with a body shot. So Ioka's in a good position. He still got a big name. You know what I'm saying? It makes him the mandatory for Susumi, but they got some issues going on with the WBA because you got Antonio Vargas, his champion in recess. He got demoted. He supposed to get his opportunity. Donaire, he fought a real close fight with Susumi. He came up short, so they might run. I don't know. They got some situations. So they could go a different route. And Ioka called out the WBC champion, Tacoma anyway. I like that. Those guys is based. It should be an easy fight to make. They both with the same network per se in Japan. So we could possibly see that fight, Kazuka Ioka challenging Tacoma anyway on that undercard of Monster anyway versus Junto Nakatani May the 3rd. We can possibly see that. We still got a ways to go. Everybody just fought and shit, starting to simmer down. But I can see that. That'd be dope. So Ioka, he comes through. Still a big name in those lower weight divisions. You know what I'm saying? Um, he looked pretty good though. He looked pretty sharp. He trained with Ismail Salas. Looked pretty good. Hakan in the building was good. Happy New Year. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you coming through. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Yes, sir. So let's see. Me personally, I like to see like a Legends tournament, a Legends bracket at 118 pounds. Chocolatito, Estrada, Donaire, and Ioka. Now, the only caveat to that, we can't see Chocolatito and Estrada fight. But everybody else can round robin that shit. That's just me throwing shit out there. But Ioka, he has the opportunity to kind of stamp his claim in this division. It's kind of wide open. We got all new champions. Um, John 2 moved up, so it made the division more wide open, similar to what happened at welterweight when Jerron Bruce Ennis moved up to 54. That division is kind of wide open. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of champions, and we'll need some consolidation. And we're anticipating Bam Rodriguez moving up to 118 pounds, so he can be in position for some big fights. Ioka and Bam, they got a little storyline because Ioka beat and retired Joshua Franco, which happens to be Brown Rodriguez's brother. So, yeah, bro, it's starting to heat up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All across the board. So, we're here for that. All right, let's move on. News and some notes we want to touch on. I covered this last time. I talked about Brandon Adams at the top against Kevin Ajaku at the bottom, right? Those guys was ordered for an IBF final eliminator at 154. The deadline passed. Was the 30th. They extended the deadline. They extended to the purse. They're having a purse bid scheduled for January the 6th, so next week. So we're gonna see. It's interesting, man, because Brandon Adams was linked with TKO. I thought he may go to TKO, but he have an opportunity to fight an eliminator in a very winnable fight This fight, if it happens, it's a pretty good fight given their styles. Kevin Ajaku was coming off a big win over Ismail Davis, so he's in position for IBF eliminator. I'm not sure who his promoter is, but I know he's working with the Conlon brothers, and Brandon Adams is with Overtime. So we'll see. So that's the news. These guys, purse bid, it got pushed back. They both requested to push it back an extra week. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna keep our eyes open January the 6th to see what happened with that. He said I had to come through for my guy. Happy New Year, Dub. Happy New Year, bro. Z Pacino, I appreciate you, bro, for sure. Yes, indeed, boxing in the building. What's good with you? Shower in the building. Salute. I appreciate you coming through. Yes, sir. So that's this is an interesting fight though. When we talk about 154 is one of the best divisions in boxing. We say that because it's a deep division. So this is part of that 154, and the winner becomes the mandatory for the Bakram, which is Aliev and Josh Kelly winner. That's a mandatory. Josh Kelly is the mandatory for Bakram. So the winner gets the winner of that fight, and it may not happen right away, but they get in position. We know about this about the IBF. You know, if you're the mandatory, you're gonna get ordered to fight the champion. You know what I'm saying? We already know that. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen next week. All right. So this is the undercard was announced for a couple weeks from now. We have the rematch between Alexis Rocha and Real Curiel. So we got some of the prospects for Golden Boy on this card. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about it. Oh, that's a guy who beat Davis. Yeah, that's him. Yep, Kevin Ajaku. He's I think he's Irish. Yeah, that is a good fight, right? Yeah, that's a good fight. Yep, I'm looking forward to that. So we have a good undercard right here. We got a lot of the Golden Boy prospects. Y'all know Golden Boy roll out their prospects. They're having this card January the 16th. Fantasy Springs. No, not Fantasy Springs. They're having it in it's in Palm Springs. It's a new venue that they opening up. You know what I'm saying? So here's the notable guys. You got Joel Arwate. Arwate is a tall, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's on here. Yeah, I got that coming up. Yeah, Patty Donovan got he's sick. So yeah, he had to pull out. But yeah, I'm on that. I appreciate you. Arate is a tall welterweight, great amateur background. He been looking good. He only had one fight that he looked so, and that was against Kevin Johnson. But other than that, he been looking good. And Arate is in training camp with Ryan Garcia to help him get ready for a tall welterweight Mario Barrios. That's perfect sparring. That makes me take Ryan Garcia seriously. You know what I'm saying? Scrappy Ramirez is back. He's close to another world title shot. He's going to face Byron Rojas, who is moving up a couple weight classes. Should be an interesting fight. Fabian Guzman is back. Ricardo Rabacaba. I like him too. He's a good fighter. Jordan Payton, So they got a lot of young guys. Gail Cabrera, Caden Griffin. Caden Griffins might be Golden Boy's best prospect, to be honest. He's nice. He still got some learning and growth to do, but he's good. And then Ruslan Adalev. So a lot of young talent that Golden Boy have on display. This is the first card of the new year for Golden Boy. They kind of closed up shop after the Virgil Ortiz fight in November. So we haven't really heard much from Golden Boy. But yeah, they're gonna kickstart the new year. So that's what it is. Send a pic or yeah, there you go. Yeah, you on it. Yeah, that's great sparring. Perfect. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's perfect. If I'm Joe Goosen, I'd bring it. I should have thought and brought him in for Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Perfect sparring. Aaron Daly, what's good with you, bro? Happy New Year. Salute to you. Same to you, bro. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. All right, keep it moving. Like my man just mentioned, I appreciate you coming through with that. This fight is off. Yeah, man. This is interesting though. What's going to happen in the aftermath? We got Liam Paro and Patty Donovan. They're supposed to fight for the IBF Final Eliminator in Australia, January the 16th. This is going to be under Nikita Zoo and Michael Zarafa. So it's all Patty Donovan is sick. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to be able to make the trip to Australia. So this is where the interesting part comes into play, and it's a domino effect too. It affects the division. So this is why I like to do a landscape and cover every division. That way we know, because one is a trigger down effect on what can happen. So here you go. So Leon Paro, he's already in the mandatory position. He won the number 2 spot in the IBF. Now, I cover the rankings all the time, and we all know that the IBF only ranks 1 and the 2 spot if you win an eliminator. So Paro won the number 2 spot, so he's in that spot. Donovan coming off the 2 fights with Lewis Crocker, the IBF champion right now, he's in the number 3 spot. So they fighting for the final eliminator because Lewis Crocker is in a voluntary stage. So by the time they finish their business, then they'll get the winner, if Crocker make a title defense. So now that Patty Donovan is out the mix, Leon Paro's team, No Limit Boxing, those guys can petition the IBF, should just be the mandatory. You know what I'm saying? And that speeds up the timeline of Lewis Crocker. So Lewis Crocker is supposed to make a defense in April. The big news came about Devin Haney may be a possibility and all this and that. Turkey don't want no part of that fight. It's probably not realistic. What's realistic for Lewis Crocker is probably a rematch with Conor Walker or Harlem Eubank, a domestic type of style fight, because he want to make a homecoming in Ireland. Now I know back and forth with Devin Haney and stuff like that. They said Devin Haney got $36 million for 3 fights. If he got $36 million for 3 fights, it shouldn't be hard to probably get some of that up to get a Lewis Crocker fight. So probably he ain't gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he's gonna take anything like a lesser pay. You know what I'm saying? That's not really a big fight per se. It is in the landscape of boxing because Devin Haney is a big name. And a lot of people be influenced by that shit, right? Or we want to tap in. But probably it's not really a big fight. Not really people is like talking about it and we demanded that fight. We'd rather see Devin Haney in with other fighters, you know what I'm saying, per se. So Paro can jump right to that mandatory position. And then he may get that's what I'm saying. If Devin Haney is going to fight Lewis Crocker, they might have to make that fight like yesterday because the time is ticking. Because once the IBF rules that Paro is the mandatory, bro, they're gonna put a time frame on that, and he gonna get his opportunity. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a domino effect, and that can fuck up the bigger fights, the other unifications. But from my understanding, Lewis Crocker is probably gonna do a lesser name and do a homecoming fight, and it'd probably be Lewis Crocker who had a great 2025. So let's see. It's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. When the flu been gone and a week away, exercise keep. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing, but you got to think about the travel and all that shit. And then, yeah, what you said if he's bedridden. So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Traveling, I don't know how long it takes to get from the UK to the Australia. I'm guessing about 18, 20 hours. That's a long ass time to be on a plane being sick. I'm just saying. I ain't never been sick on a plane, but I can imagine. So I think that's probably what it is. And you want to get out to Australia at least 14 to 10 days, 10 to 14 days to get adjusted to the climate and all that. So that's what it is, man. We'll see. Len Paro's in a good spot. Lost his world title. He got released by Matchroom. Went down to Australia. Got with No Limit. No Limit Promotions. Had 2 fights, and now he's in a good position to fight for the IBF title, and he can be a 2 division world champion. He got an opportunity to be a 2 division world champion. So we'll see how everything plays out with No Limit going to the IBF and petitioning. Let's see if Leon Paro still fights. They find him a late replacement for the 16th. That's another thing. Just to stay active. You did a whole training camp. You winding down. Let's see if they can find somebody just to come in, get him a some, I don't know, maybe a 8 rounder or a 10 rounder, just to keep him on the card, and then he can go straight into uh, the fight with, or be in the mandatory position for Lewis Crocker. So let's see, let's see. He ain't have to fight Hitchens. He still run the smoke at 147. Yeah, man, we'll see. Um, yeah, he didn't have to. Well, Hitchens was the mandatory for Paro. Remember, Hitchens was a mandatory for Matisse. And he was basically saying no, but then as soon as Paro beat Matisse, he was raising his hand. So yeah, is that Lewis Crocker is likely to have it in Belfast against a UK fighter. So that's what I'm thinking. I think it's gonna be Lewis. I think it's gonna be Crocker um, versus Conor Walker the rematch. That's probably gonna be fun. And listen, Conor Walker has an opportunity to be a new IBF champion. um, Harlem Eubank might be in the running as well. Maybe even Calderon too. Maybe Calderon is in that mix as well. But man, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But look, I'm gonna say this: we're gonna start knowing what's the plans are pretty soon. Because once we get past the new year and getting the ball rolling, we'll start hearing some more fight announcements for March and then going into April. We already got January, February, so we're gonna start getting into March and April pretty soon. So good shit right there. All right, so here's a couple of fight announcements under the radar type shit, but I'm interested in Breon Gorham. He's a prospect, young prospect, kind of like trying to cross over to a contender, fighting on overtime. He had a good win his last fight against Yomar Alamo on overtime. He came in number 15. I think he moved up a couple spots in the IBF. So he's a top 15 rated fighter. He's going to stay active. He's going to come back January the 30th in Houston. So I just want to note that because I think he got an opportunity to get in position, especially if he's going to go down the IBF route and just keep building. And maybe the end of the year, he'd be in position for like a eliminator or something like that. So I just want to highlight that. Here's another card. It's going to be in the UK Battle of the Midlands 2. Sam Egerton is on the card now, Barry. So, hardcore boxing fan type shit. Sam Egerton been around for a long time. Long time. He retired Analogy with that body shot. And he's just an all action type of fighter. So this is a card right here that's coming up in February as we start to figure out, get more fight schedule and stuff like that. All right. Vito Melnicki Jr. He signs with Samson Boxing. So this is very intriguing as well because word on the street was he was signed with Zuffa Boxing with TKO. I know he fought on the Riyadh season card with the Ring Magazine card in November. He had a nice late knockout late in that fight. I think it was a ninth or 10th round. You know, um, and Vito fights at 160. He been pretty active too. You know what I'm saying? He had a homecoming fight in New Jersey. So he signed with Samson, which is kind of like a curveball because I thought he was all set for a Zuffa boxing debut. So let's see. He said he's coming back in April and fighting in Atlantic City, which probably makes sense because Vito can be a star or like in his region in New Jersey. They can do some things in New Jersey because what I'm saying, he's a Polish kid and they got a lot of Polish community. It's a big Polish community in New Jersey. Y'all remember Thomas Adamant had that place rocking back in the day. And maybe he can relive that or try to build up to that. But I feel like as a boxing fan, we've been knowing Vito for a long time, bro. They threw Vito at us early on these PBC shows. He grew up under PBC. PBC that Vito is probably one of the few fighters that PBC kind of grew from. Not a few fighters, but as of late, because they grew Earl Spence and all those guys from scratch. But I'm talking about as of late, like a young guy. Vito was with PBC for a long time, fighting on a lot of their cards. Went to top rank for like a cup of coffee, had a couple fights over there. You know what I'm saying? And now he's with Samson. And Samson, he works with the PBC and he works with ProBox. So yeah, let's see. Let's see what they have for Vito, because Vito, the way the middleweight division is looking, Vito can be close to a world title shot, especially with the WBO. So I won't be surprised if he get in position because those belts about to be vacant. Janabek tested positive for a banned substance. He should be opening up his B sample so maybe next week. And depending on what happened with that, how shit play out, Vito can be in position for a possible eliminator that will lead to a world title shot. So, yeah. I mean, Ammo Williams is about to get a world title shot against Carlos Adames. Ammo and Vito probably around the same level, just to be honest. And that's just give us an idea of where we at with the middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So these up and coming guys, Vito Melnicki, uh, Troy Isley, who is a free agent now, Amari Jones, the kid that used to be with DHP, he's with Golden Boy now. He's like top 10 in the IBF. Those guys, they can get in position, bro. You know what I'm saying, and get an opportunity. So yeah, good stuff. Atif Overton. Yep. That's true. I forgot where I got that one from, but yeah, I seen that a couple weeks ago. Yep, that's a tough fight right there. That's sound like a prelim fight. Sound like a prelim fight. That's a tough fight for both guys. I know Team Overton is coming off for first round. Was it first round? A one punch knockout over Vaughn Alexander. That says a lot because Vaughn is a journeyman, and him getting knocked out is a detriment because he'll get suspended. He can't fight right away, so he knocks him out. Can't stay long, but just gonna pop in and they Pyro News. Okay, yeah, fight. I appreciate you, bro. I thank you for that news too. I went and I started doing my own research and I found out that he was sick. So I appreciate the drop. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Toker's in the building. Toker's boxing. My man Anthony. Appreciate you guys, man, for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, so there you go. Paro. Hopefully he get a replacement opponent. You know what I'm saying? And let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. And then he should his team understand they should try to request to be the IBF mandatory for Lewis Crocker. All right, so now nice little segue from Vito, right? Because on here, this is Dan Raphael right here. Salute to him. Let me take this banner off. So he put out that this are the guys that Zuffer is working with. So I'm not sure what that means. If Zulfa if you're exclusive with Zulfa or you can work with other promoters, I'm not sure. We just seen Vito sign with Samson, so that's an indicator that he's not gonna be with Zulfa. We don't know how this shit gonna work, but these are some of the fighters that Zulfa gonna be working with coming up. That don't mean they're gonna be on this upcoming show, January 23rd. But this is who they're working with. This is the level of guys that they're working with to start off with, which I can understand. The big one is Rayo Valenzuela, Jose Valenzuela, former world champion. Um, yeah, Rayo been a free agent for a good while now. He been real quiet. I think that's a good move because that's a young guy who they can build off of, who got some skin in the game. You got Razab Butayev. Butayev is a former regular champion. He's going. I forgot who he's gonna fight. I seen it. I can't remember, but he's supposed to fight pretty soon as well. So we'll see. And then we got Garcia. Edison Garcia just came over from Riyadh, had a mild upset of Umaga. That was a good win. That was kind of like a late replacement. I know Maciel Rodriguez, Chino Rodriguez. He's out of RGBA. I know he signed with them. It's another fight. Maros, what was his name? Santamaro, Rocco Santamaro versus Floyd Diaz, Cash Flow Floyd Diaz. That's supposed to be on that Zuffa card too coming up. So let's see. It's interesting to see how this going to look. What type of changes Zuffa Boxing is trying to do and bring to the game. I'm interested. I'm not going overboard thinking they're going to take over boxing. but I want to see how they come because to me it's like any other new start promotion company. Over whether it's Overtime, Pro Box, whoever that just recently started out, they're gonna start all with little kinks and stuff like that. But I want to see where this go. I know, as far as like taking over boxing and having one belt, it's gonna be kind of hard to sell that to like the boxing fans for sure, unless you have the top guy. So if you can go get the top five, because you might not get all 10, right? But let's say you get top 5 or 6 guys in a division, and then you do a belt for that division. That can probably it have some credence. And other than that, it's just like it's like for example, they got UFC. They do the UFC shit, right? They got other MMA organization like PFL. Like the MMA fighters and the champions ain't don't care about the PFL champion. Like they look down on them. They ain't tripping off them. That's what's going to happen with their belt. You know what I'm saying? If they get if Ryo becomes the lightweight Zuffa champion, we ain't tripping off Ryo. You know what I'm saying? Because can he beat Abdullah Mason? Can he beat Shakur? You know, stuff like that. So it is what it is. But them start boxing and giving fighters opportunities, I'm always down for that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how it plays out. They're supposed to do some. Yeah, Floyd Diaz. Yep. He supposed to face. Let me put it in the chat. Who he supposed to face? Let me put it in the chat. Um, let me see. Yeah. So you haven't heard from him in a long time either. You haven't heard from Cashflow Floyd in a while. But this is his opponent, from what I'm hearing. Oh, Rocco. Rocco can fight though. That's not an easy fight for Floyd. You know what I'm saying? That's not an easy fight. So let's see. Let's see how this shit works. I know Zuffa is trying to do. They're doing a card January the 23rd at the Apex. The next night they have a UFC pay per view, and then they're supposed to do some more cards like a week later, like the 30th, and then the first week of February, from what I heard. So that's good. That's 3 cards in a 3 week span. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I like shit like that. And these guys get opportunities they probably wouldn't get in other promotion companies. All right, Dimitri Bivol. So he's planning to come back off of back surgery, looking like April, maybe end of March. But I'm gonna say April. Um, we know he's the unified champion. He gave up his WBC. We know David Benavidez is a WBC light heavyweight champion. Bivol's one of the best fighters in boxing. He split with Turbiev. Um, so him taking I guess he's taking a step back. He's gonna supposed to fight his mandatory, the IBF mandatory Michael Efer, who's been mandatory since 2023. Think about it. We're about to go on the 26th. That's a long ass time. The IBF don't normally do that. The only other time I remember them having a long ass mandatory was Quadratillo Agmadilov Quadratillo for Earl Spence. Remember, Earl Spence didn't make an IBF mandatory defense the whole time he was champion. So that's similar to this one. But Bivol, let's see. He had back surgery, so I don't mind him not coming back to Beterbiev or Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? He's facing an okay opponent just to come back, fight your mandatory, keep your belts. So let's see. Let's see how he look when he come back. He probably gonna start a training camp pretty soon just to see how he feels. So I ain't mad at that. Guys coming off of injuries and they're taking kind of like a step back. I ain't really too mad at that. So we'll see. But hopefully we can get it. You know what I'm saying? I would take the trilogy with Beterbiev. Let's go ahead and close that chapter. Of course, I want to see Benavidez. Benavidez got business on Cinco de Mayo weekend, May the 2nd against Zerto. He's going to move up to cruiserweight. He said he's willing to come back. And he basically has the word of the WBA, whatever that means, right? To after his fight with Zerto, that he gonna come back and be the mandatory for Bivol. So that would be an undisputed fight. So let's see. That's a long way away. A lot of weight to talk about as well, because him going up to 200 and coming back to 75. That's unless he coming in at like 190, you know what I'm saying, and he can be able to make the weight pretty. I don't know, but that's a long ways away. You know, normally when you jump, because see, light heavyweight to cruiserweight is the biggest jump in boxing, 25 pounds. So that's a lot of weight to be shifting. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But yeah, I want to see Bivol back. The perfect world is going to be Michael Eifert and then Baturbiev, and then we'll go from there. All right, moving on. My man Toka said he gave me this late one of my shows last week, right when I was about to get off. But he put me onto this, and I want to talk about it though. I like this. Angelo Leo, IBF featherweight champion, he's gonna fight his mandatory Raif Salim. I like this fight. Originally, Angelo Leo was supposed to make a defense against a South African fighter February the 21st. But it came out that he was going to bypass that and go straight to the mandatory, which makes sense in my opinion because I want to see unifications at featherweight. It don't matter which champion, Angelo Leo, Rafael Espinoza, Nick Ball, Shushu, and Castro Winner. They need to be unified. That division is too. That division can be way better than what it is if they had unification. Plus, you got somebody gonna have to declare themselves number one because anyway will probably be in that division by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. But as far as this matchup, I think these guys know each other. I know they sparred and they know each other from the Mayweather gym in Vegas and getting each other ready for fights. So I think it should be a pretty solid fight. Right? Yes, Raif Salim is coming off a good win in Japan, upset win. So he got the IBF number one spot. And Leo, he had a win in Japan too. He fought Kameda. That was his mandatory. So he elected to go straight to his mandatory. I know the IBF, it may not have been due, but in the IBF, you can go into your mandatory early because you have 9 months. But if you want to go into it early, they will allow you to do that. So let's go. You know what I'm saying? I like this fight. I know Raif Salim is a little older, but I feel like their styles is going to make for a great fight. Let's see where they put this at. Whether it be on Pro Box, whether it be on the undercard of a big fight. Uh, we'll see. I'm looking forward to this. Raif Salim is with Manny Pacquiao Promotions, so it could go on the PBC undercard. And Pro Box worked with Leo. Leo used to be with Mayweather Promotions. It's a connection there. Easy fight to be made, and I'm down for it too. Blue Hustle Man in the building. What's good with you? Salute. Happy New Year, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Happy New Year to you. Salute. All right, let's keep it pushing. So, Olis Iglesias, this is the best fighter at 168 right now since Terrence Crawford left. I'm putting my stamp on it, right? This guy can fight Cuban, Southpaw, you know what I'm saying? He fights out of Canada, but I think he resides in Germany, so he's all over the place. But he can fight. He's an IBF number one mandatory contender. We know Terrence Crawford retired and vacated his belts. We know this guy's gonna fight for the IBF title for sure. Now, who he gonna fight? Now, there's been a lot of mixed news and stuff like that, and I get it because Canelo is a big name. But Canelo, the IBF reached out to Canelo to ask him will he accept the IBF ordering him versus Iglesias. He has to accept it. They haven't ordered the fight. They both reached out to both parties. Iglesias is in because he know he fighting for the vacant title anyway. But they got to reach out to Canelo. Canelo at this stage of his career, you can't tell him shit to do. You can't tell him. You can't order no fights. You can't demand no fights. Whatever. He'll fight you whenever he wants to. He's the cash cow. He's the man. So a lot of people ran with that and said, "Oh, Canelo's on the clock." Blah, blah. No, he's not. It's just a. it's just a. They're basically being courteous. Hey, Canelo, you want to accept this? You know he's gonna turn it down. You know what I'm saying? So we all know it's just a little window dressing. So they're gonna go down the list. Once Canelo turn it down, the next one up is Jaime Munguia. I don't know if he's gonna take it, bro. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Jaime Munguia gonna take it. Now we did have. I'm gonna pull up the rankings for you guys too, so you can see what I'm saying, and we can follow along for educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure we all good. But let me pull it up. So I'm gonna go down the list too, and then talk through it. Right? Make sure everybody's straight. Salute to everybody coming through the building. Let me take down Iglesias and put this up real quick. Show y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is my forte. This is where this is my expertise right here. You know what I'm saying? All right, hold on. Yes, sir. Hopefully y'all can see that. Uh, I just can't get man. He's nice. He's like Morrell. Him and Morrell got some. Do you like David Morrell? Because they fight similar, but he's more vicious than David Morrell. I don't know. Maybe you don't. I don't know. He can fight. That dude, nice. Just do boxing. What's good with you, bro? Salute. Yeah, let me know what you don't like. Why you can't get with Iglesias? I like. All right, so here's the IBF rankings, right? So of course we know Iglesias, he's definitely gonna fight for that vacant IBF. All right. So they reached out to Canelo to see if he's interested. He got 3 days, so that was what the other day. So probably tomorrow or maybe the end of the week, then he gonna have to have an answer. Canelo gonna say no. Then they're gonna go to have him again. Same process. Give you 3 days. Hey, would you accept it? Yes or no. Then this is where it get tricky right here. Now, these rankings has not been updated yet. These the rankings like the top of December. The new rankings will get released the top of January, and once they get released, then we'll get an update, right? So we know Callum Simpson at number 5. He lost. He's vicious, but not enough variety. I love if he incorporated more body shots. Is all. Not crazy about. Now I get it. Because they both similar, so I got you. Okay. Too easy. Maybe he'll grow on you with better performance, and if he can start going to the body, you know what I'm saying? You'll tap in with him. I got you. Um, so this is where it get interesting. Callum Simpson just lost in an upset to my man Troy Williamson. Now, conventional wisdom tell us that Troy Williamson should take that number 5 spot. But I gotta go back to history, right? When y'all remember Cody Crawley beat the IBF mandatory Quadratilo, he beat him, and he didn't. They didn't even rank him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even rank him right away. He should have took the number 1 spot or the highest spot. The IBF didn't rank him, so I don't know how they're gonna do that. It should be Troy Williamson. He beat the number 5 guy. He should get the number 5 spot. That's how I look at it. Um, always watching them both. Though. Oh yeah, both of them guys good. I think Morrell kind of took a step back in 2025, but let's see how he looks against Callum Smith coming up early next year. So we're gonna see. I'm thinking, they probably put Williamson in the rankings, but they may not put him that high. So let's keep going. Number 6, you got Hamza Shiraz. Hamza Shiraz got hella options. We seen that the WBC and the WBO ordered him in the final eliminator for the vacant title. He'll probably go the WBO route and fight Pacheco. So that gets us to number 7, Pavel Sagani, the Russian kid. That's the one. If it gets to him, he's taking it for sure. He's taking it. He can fight. You know, so he got a quirky style, or awkward, can box. Got a kind of tricky style. So that's why I can see. You know what I'm saying? Then if it get down to William Skull, I mean, 2 Cubans going at it. I don't know. But so what I'm trying to say is Canelo is not taking the Iglesias fight. He don't need that fight. His family don't need it. It's a dangerous fight. Real dangerous fight, bro, for him. Yeah, that's a dangerous fight. And even him not even fighting Crawford. I'm not even taking the Crawford fight into consideration. I'm looking at the matchup with Iglesias and Canelo. That's a bad matchup for him. That guy 6'2", 6'3", punching. He got the Cuban school, but he's vicious and he's dangerous. So Canelo might not need that right now. He might not need to fight that guy for a vacant title at this stage of his career. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? They try to push Canelo off the bridge and give him to Iglesias. I'm trying to keep him on the bridge. Like, nah, bro, we're gonna go this way. Hell nah. No, sir. And the way Canelo move and pick and choose his fights, Iglesias is not one of the guys he normally pick. I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna throw that out there. So yeah, that's what it is, man. Iglesias. I'm high on Iglesias. I wanna see who actually accept the fight and how he will look going forward against the other top guys. All right. We've been waiting for this for like the longest time. We've been hearing that Pacquiao and Rolly is going to fight sometime in 2026. They can't get the deal together, so the talks fell out. So these guys are not going to fight next. Pacquiao is trying to get that Floyd fight. You know what I'm saying? Probably want a little bit more money. Rolly is locked into a mandatory that he has to do, or they were only going to let him fight Pacquiao or his mandatory. And I know the Devin Haney shit came out or whatever, but they know, and the real ones that's tapped in know that Rolly was never available. But we gotta go with the narratives and we gotta go with what's popular and who was pushing it. So that'll make Rolly come out as a duck. And Rolly didn't do himself any favors by the way he was dismissing the Devin Haney, talks. So, but realistically, he won't in no position. And this is the funny thing: his mandatory Shakur Giyasov and Devin Haney share the same lawyer. Put that in perspective. So you trying to tell me they don't know what's going on? They know. But back to this: Pacquiao and Rolly, these guys are in talks. They was talking about fighting. I think, January 31st. I heard that date. I heard March. Shit ain't never pop off. So we'll see. Look like Pacquiao looking for some bigger fights. He want that Floyd fight, the rematch. And Rolly, I mean, let's see. He went to the WA convention and he petitioned for the Pacquiao fight, not to fight his mandatory. Giasov is not a big fight. Giasov is he's not a big name, not a big fight. So it's one of those obscure mandatories, but the hardcore fans know Giasov. And he could give Rolly a tough fight. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Rolly don't have any more options out there for him. He probably had one with Haney. I'm not dismissing it. But now that Pacquiao is out the way, Giasov's team is not taking a step aside. So that leads me to this, right? This is who he got to fight. You know what I'm saying? Both Giasov's team, Vladim. He has Dmitry Bivol. He got all the Uzbekistan fighters, Bekta Bully, Majumov. He got all those guys, and he got Giasov. So they've been through the course where they took step aside money for Stanionis and Boots. You know what I'm saying? Which that was cool, but he's supposed to get next. What did the WBA do? They went around that and then they ordered Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero for the WBA regular title, while Boots was elevated to super champion. Boots moved up to 154. Now Rolly is the sole WBA champion, so he got to do his mandatory. They was willing, if they had a deal in place, Pacquiao and Rolly. Giasov was willing to take step aside. Giasov even fought in November 14th. He had to stop his victory at one of the Russian fighters. Um, so they was willing to play ball, but now if you don't got no signed contract, you don't got no date, bro, you gotta give the man the opportunity or vacate and let him fight for the vacant title. So we're gonna see, we're gonna see. But I have to say this: Rolly was never available, yo. Like he was never available that he can actually say, I fight I fight Haney or I fight any other champion to unify. Because it was either gonna be Pacquiao or Giasov. You know what I'm saying? So if Giasov would have stepped aside again, he'll fuck around. What I'm saying? He's doing himself a disservice. So let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm not even sure what's gonna happen if Rolly gonna take the fight or not. He doesn't have the standard Cuban footwork either. Yeah, he sit down on a lot of his shots. He trying to put pain on these dudes. So I'll get that. I think he has it in his tool bag, but he trying to hurt shit. I gotta go check him out. PBC don't mess with them. Nah, they never had really did any business like that. Um, I mean, like I said, I don't see why it's so hard for Devin to get fights if Turkey got his back or got financially backing him, because he can pay these guys whatever and then they'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is with money. Now, guys, I don't really, I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like I always felt like Devin, he won't look. They talking about him coming back February. I never believed that. Nah, Devin ain't never fought that quick. Not even he ain't fought that quick since he was before he became champion. I always suspect Devin to come back around May or June because it was a big thing about him observing Ramadan. That's in February, February 17th through March, right? So that was always been a big thing. Now he got an opportunity to actually do that, and then he's at a weight that he's more comfortable. I never saw him coming back before that time, so that was just me thinking. But we'll see. We'll see. Just pass it through. What's good with you, bro? Tez 305. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you. Because it seemed like Turkey has to want to fight too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's true. He has to want to fight. If he don't want to fight, that shit ain't gonna get made. And you can't blame, you know, you can't blame Matchroom or anybody else for not wanting to just give you their champion, and then you bounce. Salute to have Devin and Bill been moving because they've been able to kind of get their shit and bounce and not be locked in long term to these promoters. They get in and get out, get their bag and get out. So now I can see Eddie Hearn saying, "Bro, give me a 3-fight deal. Give me a 3-fight option on you." You know what I'm saying? Let me do your next 3 fights, and maybe Devin don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? He said with Turkey, he gonna make him fight dangerous fight, in my opinion. Yeah, if Devin can if he can lock down the opponent to agree, yeah, he'll make him fight the tough fights or the fights he deemed as dangerous. But you know, look, it ain't no secret. If you want to get fights and consistent fights, you got to have a promoter. Or if you like that, they always say that he's his own boss and he do his own thing. Do your own shows. Why not, bro? Devin can go to the zone and get his own deal, or go to a network and get his own deal. He did it before with Showtime, before he was champion. So if he got his own deal with the network, he can get the fights. He don't have to. He don't have to go to a promoter. Go to the network. You know what I'm saying? And go to whoever, Amazon, whoever gonna give you some money and gonna pay your bills or pay your whatever you're looking for. Go there and get a 3-fight deal. See that's how you get the fights. But he ain't gonna get no fights if he don't want to he can get the fights. But I'm just saying he ain't gonna be able to get all the fights he want if he ain't trying to lock in with somebody. So now Turkey gotta find somebody. Man, thank God, you know what I'm saying? It was looking kind of scarce if it wasn't for Brian Norman Jr. T.O. said no. Everybody was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. So, I don't know. I don't see why it's so hard for him to get his own TV deal or streaming deal or something. Why is it so hard? Devin the man. We know who Devin is. He moved the needle. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad. We know who he is. I'm always curious on that. Why can't this get his own deal like he did at Showtime? It may be coming close, but being able to do as hey, you might be right. Teach, what's good with you? If we had to guess who, I think he's gonna fight Jack Calderon, because it's a turkey thing. It's a turkey thing. So if he waiting for a promoter to get him a bone, he probably ain't gonna fight the rest of it. He probably ain't gonna fight 2026. So Turkey would give him a bone. If they can't convince these other champions to fight him, you got to fight the next best guy. And they fucking with Jack Calderon based off that performance he had with Echo Usama. I'm thinking that's it. That's what I'm thinking because he's not going to get the WBC title shot because Conor Ben got dibs on that. He already got dibs on that. Um, Crocker, it seems like that one may be unrealistic. That was a smart play to try to get Crocker, but I don't think they're gonna get him. But that's a smart play because if they get him, he got a mandatory right after that. We just talked about Leon Paro. Leon Paro is gonna be the mandatory. So is he willing to go ahead and get that and then accept that Paro? Because he's gonna end up have to fight somebody. So that means he gonna if think about this. He'll end up if he was to go the IBF route, get the IBF title from Crocker, he'll fight Crocker and Leon Paro this year. That'd be his 2026. Because he's not fighting 3 times a year. You know what I'm saying? How about that sit with them? I don't know. Because he's not gonna get the WBC. The WBA is all over the place. So where he gonna go? Probably the next best guy that Turkey would probably approve is Jack Calderon. I'm just saying. That's just me. Jack Calderon is #1 with the WBO, but the WBO mandatory is not due for Devin for a while because the fight he had with Norman was a mandatory fight. And Devin is in that super champion status. So he don't have to make a defense, a WBO mandatory for 18 months. So I'm going to say Jack Calderon. DHP won't foot the bill, it seems. That's what, hey, you know what I'm saying? Be willing. He's #4 over there. He said, be willing to fight him again. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get that fight again. The option gonna be slim. Bill gonna have to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you look at the landscape. Everybody, all the champions about to be busy. All the champions about to be busy, and yeah, it's about to be busy. I never thought Eddie would offer up Crocker. I believe Haney's wanted to run through 147 with politics, will play his part. Now, for sure, it will. It will. Just the other week, before they met up, they was going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to fight Crocker. I don't know how that if it works like that. Especially, see if Turkey, see that's what I'm saying. If Turkey ain't with that shit, he ain't gonna buy off on it like that. And maybe he don't know Crocker well enough to do it. I don't know, but I feel like if Turkey wanted to happen, it'll probably happen. But I don't know. All right. Here's my last one we're going to talk about. Salute to everybody in the building. I appreciate it. I've been peeping the 147 landscape, looking long and hard. Yeah. It ain't no big look. It ain't no big fights for Devin at 147. Like I'm talking about like big fights. It's good fights. Crocker is a good fight. Catterall is even a good fight. But big fights, the biggest fight for him is Ryan Garcia at 47. Let me take this off. I don't want to confuse somebody on the playback. But I want to speak on this. Ryan Garcia is the biggest fight. Keyshawn Davis moving up to 147. He get past Ortiz. That's a big fight. Teofimo. If Teofimo wins against Shakur, move up to 47. That's a big fight for Haney. Conor Ben not gonna fight him, right? So those names, like those 3 names I talked about, the big fights, they got obstacles. Ryan Garcia got Barrios. Ain't no giving he's gonna get past Barrios. And then after Barrios, the winner gotta fight Conor Ben. That's gonna prolong that's gonna prolong, right? So I don't know how that shit gonna play out. Keyshawn Davis gotta fight Jermaine Ortiz, and then is he willing to go straight to Devin, or he said he want to win a title, and then he was like beating around the bush about Devin. If he beats Jermaine Ortiz, who he gonna fight for the title? The only one that's gonna be available is Devin Haney, because all these other guys is gonna be occupied. So I'm just saying, if Devin is trying to come back like in the springtime, he might either have to wait for a big name to open up, or I can see Calderon being thrown at him. So he's not gonna fight Karen Shikazi. He's not gonna fight him. He's not gonna fight the winner between Alexis Rocha and Real Curiel. He's not gonna fight Tiger Johnson. He's not gonna fight Rohan Polanco. You know what I'm saying? He gotta fight somebody that Turkey gonna approve of. And those names, those guys not there yet. So the only one that he seems like in good graces with, other than those big names that I mentioned, Keyshawn, Ryan, and Teofimo, is Jack Calleron. That's how I'm looking at it. Unless somebody they can shit somebody else out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Hitchens seems like he kind of fell behind in that because kind of the negotiation play that he's involved with, and he's trying to defend his IBF title. So he ain't ready to go to 47 yet. So I don't know, bro. And Turkey, I don't even know he's down for that fight. It's a lot of ins and outs. Yeah, Karen is right there. Yeah, I doubt if he get that opportunity, he got to be a mandatory. I agree with all that. I appreciate you. Um, Ryan has to win first. Devin had always said, yeah, no, for sure, definitely, definitely. I do concur with both parts. I don't know if Ryan gonna get past Barrios. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, Devin always wanted a rematch. That's the reason why he dropped the lawsuit for that, and I get it. You know, they criticize him for that, but I ain't mad at it. If that's the only way to get the fight, and you have to do that, do it. Shit. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, I believe that. I think the rematch should happen, win, lose, or draw. But yeah, I'm with that too. And it's still gonna be a big fight too. They got enough content to promote the fight, going back and forth. Yeah, for sure. Can you see Hitchens moving up to 147? I can see it, but not next. I can see it, but see, this is the thing with that though. It's different. The landscape has changed. Is Devin going to accept less money, or he going to sign with a promoter and get that fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure he can get any fight he want, but he's not going to get the bread that he's getting for when he's messing with Turkey. And then if it's a Turkey fight, is Turkey going to sign off on a Hitchens and Haney fight? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's going to sign off on that. I don't know. Maybe somebody can put that, give me that ear. You know, it probably would make sense for Devin to re-sign with Matchroom, and when he go there, be like, listen, this is how I want my minimum to be, and these are the fights I want. I want because they seem like they have the fights. Hitchens, you know what I'm saying? You know, go get that fight, or if he can get Turkey to lock in these names for him, that's how that shit gonna have to work. But that's a lot of moving parts and ifs, ands, and buts. We don't know. He's gonna have to bust a move some kind of way. And Jack said he wants to fight Devin. I'm telling you, I think that's the easiest fight to be made. I think so. I think so. I think so. He might get more for Jack than he would for Crocker in unification. And he may have to go on the road for that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. All right, here's my last one though. Salute to everybody coming to the building. I appreciate it. New Year's Eve, appreciate it. Happy New Year to everybody too. Usyk versus Wilder. So Usyk doubled down again recently. Said he want to fight Wilder. He initially told the WBC at their convention, top of December, that he want to fight Wilder, and he doubled down again recently. So that seems like the plan. Sometime his manager said in of March, April, no, end of April, early May. So let's see. They want to do it in the U.S. I can see New York. I can see Cali. They said L.A. I can see Vegas, but I won't rule out the D.C. area too, y'all, because I learned recently that D.C. area has a large population of a Ukraine population. But I think that fight makes sense probably in Vegas because you can get these guys seem like they gonna need a nice little purse. So Vegas would probably be right. They can get a nice little site fee and stuff like that. Now, the two fighters, they're the different ends of the spectrum. Usyk, unified champion at the top of his game. He's coming off an injury. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how severe that injury is, but he dropped one of his belts. He gave up the WO. Now Fabio Wardley is the WO champion. He basically beat and fought everybody in the division. The two biggest names he already beat twice: Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And now the third biggest name in this era is Deontay Wilder. He haven't fought him yet, so this is the reason why he want to fight him. I'm not really mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Some people is mad why give him opportunity. He lost. Well, he won one fight, if whatever. I'm talking about Deontay, but I feel like Usyk, he, I think fighting all the names in your era makes sense because all the greats did it before him. Holyfield fought everybody in his era. You know what I'm saying? Lewis, go so on and so forth. They all fought each other. Only ones that didn't fight was Bo and Lewis, right? So, and a lot of other guys didn't fight either, whatever. So I ain't mad at this. Let's see what they can do with it. Now Deontay, he's on the other end of the spectrum. He's faded. You know what I'm saying? He's faded. The I think 2 and 3 of the Fury fights took a lot out of him, especially 3. Well, 2 and 3. Put both of them together. He came back against Robert Helenius, got a first round knockout. He looked gun shy against Parker, the fight that I thought he should have won, and it was there for him to win because Parker didn't do a lot. He landed a big right hand over the top like in the ninth round, but Deontay won't let his hands go, and he was very, very hesitant. Then he got stopped by Zane, and that was a bad knockout because of the way it happened. The way he got clipped, spent around, and then got clipped again, and that was it. Then he came back and had a tune-up fight where he looked decent. He you know what I'm saying, he looked more tactical and more like he was thinking a lot. He was using the jab a lot in the fight. He didn't look half bad. You know what I'm saying? He looked actually better than what I expected because previously he was gun shy. He won't throwing no punches. But if at least he was pumping that jab out, and that was something we was asking for Deontay as a fan for a long time. Get the jab pumping, get that long stiff jab in these guys' face, and then you can be able to shoot that right hand. So it's better. But then he can disguise the right hand. He came to a point in time where he wasn't even disguising shit. We know what he was looking for. He was loading up on the right hand, and guys can take that away in a certain level. So they both at the end of the spectrum. One thing we always say about boxing is the power is the last thing that leaves. And we know Deontay is one of the biggest punchers in boxing history type shit. So I think he got to do way more than that. He got to set that shit up with Usyk. And it's going to be tough because Usyk got a lot of movement, a lot of in and out, and he punching himself. And he's a true heavyweight now. You know what I'm saying? You can't call him no blown up cruiserweight because he's been there for a while. And he beat the two biggest guys in the weight class. So, I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Wilder, though. You know what I'm saying? We ain't jumping off that. It's just I'm gonna be real about my expectations of this. This is a fight where Usyk should win, but I'm hoping one last time that right hand can come from the deepest, darkest Alabama and hit this dude on the chin, and then we're gonna go crazy type shit. But that's right now. It seems like wishful thinking, but you never know. That's why they do the training camps and they do the fights. So let's see. But I do like Vegas for this fight. I think Vegas will make sense. For sure. That's the biggest fight for sure. I think so. Those Turkey yeah, Turkey, yeah, of course. So Turkey, I know he said that when he asked about Deontay before, he said he want Deontay to have a couple more fights, and then when he's ready, then he'll bring him back. But obviously not. So yeah, I want to see who's going to actually pick it up. If anyone has earned the right to pick and choose, is Usyk. I agree. I do agree. I was pleased. I wonder if Don House that made him look. Yeah, he looked solid. Maybe it was Don House to get the jab going. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were rocking with Wilder all day. But yeah, I think Don did probably get him back on that stick. Um, and that was, I thought he looked good for based on his last couple of fights. Because the thing with Deontay, we know, we already know about like the skills and all that shit, but he was able to weather a lot of that. That's the intrigue about him. Like this bro don't do the base of 1, 2, 3, but if he hits you with that two, it's a wrap. You don't need no three. You know what I'm saying? And like we was drawn into that. But I do think he fell in love with the power way too much, and maybe he ain't take it seriously enough. So he ain't take it seriously enough to kind of focus on his craft all the way because him coming up, he was always kind of unorthodox because his style. He don't throw punches. He throw punches kind of awkward, and when he hits you with that shit, it's like a shock to your system. And when he lost that dog, whatever he did down in Costa Rica, whatever they did with that, what's it called? NYE, I don't know what that shit called, but that shit that took away his killer instinct for sure. Because before he didn't do that, he was good. Then he did it. Now he not throwing punches. He whatever. And then he's supposed to be diminished because those three fights with Fury, especially look. I think the third fight was more brutal than the second. I know the second he got stopped and all the shit came with that, but the third one that shit was brutal, and that should take a lot from you. You're not supposed to be back how you was when you became champion. So I don't know. And then he kind of got. For me, I'd rather him take a couple of more fights to get it back. Like I like this before he got to the Parker fight. I was thinking, bro, maybe he need one more, but I don't know. I think the mental was off as well as leaning on the right. Yeah, his mental. When I seen that he lost his dog, I was like, it's gonna be tough because that was the thing that drawn us fans to him because of he tenacious, he determined. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kill him to get him up out of there. Like he know he gonna fight to the end. But I don't think he have to have that mindset per se if he get himself together as far as his kind of the fundamentals that he has. He can still shoot the jab. He can still do good things. He fought southpaws. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. He's gonna have every southpaw that he fought. He had some issues with him. Like he had issues with Spilker. That wasn't an easy fight for him. I mean, he slept him, of course. He had issues in the Ortiz fight. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have issues. The Zane fight. So, but the thing he did well in that fight, he always was alert, and he still was tenacious, and he believed in that right hand. I felt like I don't know, maybe he stopped believing in it, and that's the money maker right there. So we're gonna see. He was supposed to get a couple of fights by now. After Hernan, yeah, I heard he was supposed to fight. Shit, you know what? I heard he was supposed to fight January the 16th with that same promoter that he was working with. I heard he was in talks for Shazor for the top of December after Dylan White fell out, but he got the call for Usyk. So let's see. Let's see how everything plays out. But yeah, we wish the best for Wilder for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough fight with Usyk, but let's see. We got one more Magic Night. You know what I'm saying? After that, if he beat Usyk, bro, I don't know. Like I think he cool. Honestly, as a hardcore fan of Wilder, day one type of fan, I don't really want to see him fight. I didn't want to see him fight after the third Fury fight. I was cool with that. I was cool, but we'll see. Salute to everybody coming through the building, though. I appreciate you guys for sure. Yeah. I did hear that. The Korean dude, JC, was good. Happy New Year, bro. Appreciate you. He said, "Why they ain't beat us, man? Come on, man. You know we got a dream, man. Come on." He said, "I'm guessing Camille Boone will be next fighter." Man, he should have been left. Man, hold on, man, hold on. Before we go, appreciate you bringing that shit up. How many fights Carmel Moon had this year? I gotta go to. I don't even normally go to box fair, but I don't think he even had a fight. If he did, I don't remember. Oh my god, this is wild, bro. This is crazy. Let me see. Carmel Moon. He had two fights this year, early in the year. He fought on Benavidez on the card, and he fought on Fondora's card. No, he fought on Caleb Plant's card. Okay, bro. It feel like he ain't fought all year. Man, what the hell? That's yo. This dude, Carmel Moton, got more emotions than probably half of these world champions. He got hell emotion. I ain't never seen people go so crazy over a prospect. Like, bro, this dude, I think he had one or two fights on TV, bro. Like, I ain't never seen so many people streaming his fights on IG, which is crazy. Why the hell this kid got so much motion, so much action, right? That we can't even find his fights. We gotta go through the dark web to see this dude fight. We gotta look at somebody's IG who is standing up and he dudes walking past him. It's like watching a bootleg movie back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's nasty work. Signing with Floyd is like signing with Don King. Bro, it's stupid. It's stupid business. What happened with Richard Schaefer taking over uh, Leonard Ellaby's position? What was the what? What they do? What that supposed to mean? Ain't shit happened. Ever the last time I seen Richard Schaefer, he working with Canelo. Bro, we can't get Cromel Moden on a Canelo undercard. We can't get Cromel Moden on any card. Pro box, overtime. Bro, what is that shit is crazy to me. The kid like that, Cromel Moden's supposed to have at least 15, 16 fights, and he's supposed to be world rated right now. Now, I ain't saying he got to fight for a world title, but he should at least have about 15, 16 fights. He should have fought at least. He 8-0. He should be at least 13-0. 13-0, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. This dude go viral more than the champions. He was 2-0 this year, one knockout. How the hell, bro? This dude, him and Zay Quinn went back and forth. Shit went viral. We can't even get Buddy in the ring. Shit is crazy, man. Oh, what's Floyd doing for him? Nothing. I don't even think he under Floyd. Floyd ain't giving that dude any type of. He's bad for the game. He's bad for the game right now. He ain't done nothing to build this kid up. Nothing. And even the little notoriety that he got, it was based on the shit that he did. You feel me? I know he in some shape, man. I know he stay in the gym. That's smart. I know he helped Michaela Mayer get ready for her fights. Smart. You stay around a champion who's doing it the right way. But bro, you can't get no fights. That's crazy. My man Mike in the building. Happy New Year, bro. Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. All Floyd did was fancy IG. That's what I'm saying. That shit ain't getting nowhere. And what's crazy is he should have enough power to make that fight happen. All he got, look, everybody complain about these belts and sanctioned by it, right? Even Floyd complain about it. But I see motherfuckers ranked every month. People get ranked in the WA, IBA, whatever. You couldn't get Cromel Moon number 14 in the WA rankings? I'm just saying. Bro, this shit is wild. He said, say less, Dub. This shit is, I don't know. That's disappointing. When they talk about who is the most disappointing fighter this year, I think Cromel Moon gotta be on that list too. Because, bro, and then those two, look, that's why I had to go look up how many times he fought this year. Because I don't even remember seeing him. Nothing stood out that was memorable. I know his fight in May won on TV. Because I think I had my man down there, Gary Carmichael. Y'all probably see him in the chat sometimes. He went to the fight. He went to the front door. No, it was Caleb Plant. He went out there, I believe. Bro, that shit is crazy, yo. I don't know. That's disappointing. The last one was it on TV? I can't remember, yo. I cannot remember. Yeah, that's crazy. And I'm tapped in with boxing. Like I feel like Cromel Moton, he need another promote. He need to get up under out of under there. I don't even think he needs to be with PBC. He needs to go to, I believe so. He needs to go to a prospect friendly promoter that's going to build him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can go back over there when he ready for the bigger fights. But right now, he need activity. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he had an issue where he missed weight by a whole lot. He came in like 12. I forgot the amount, but he missed weight bad on Danny Garcia card. If Tyrann get their shit together, that makes sense for sure. Even if they don't got their shit together, Tyrann got everybody on their roster active without a network deal. You feel me? So yeah, go. I'm with that. I second Tyrann. You know what I'm saying? But Kayla is over there. That's you know what I'm saying. They working together in the gym. Yeah, that makes sense. Man, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Hopefully he get it together. He's still young. But I feel like he should at least have at least 5 or 6 fights this year, just based on the pure talent and the buzz behind him alone. That's how I feel. But it is what it is. Salute to everybody coming through the building, though. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be back. We should be back tomorrow. We got some rankings coming out. We'll be back to cover that tomorrow. Friday, we're just going to take a look and a preview at Amanda Serrano's card coming up on Saturday. It's not a lot of boxing, but that's the only mainstream boxing we got on Saturday to start the new year. I'm thankful for that because we normally don't have no boxing the first week of January. So, yeah, but we're gonna get it popping for the rest of the month because January is actually a big month of boxing. So, yes, sir. I'll see you guys soon. Salute to everybody coming through. That's my time.